Hello everyone, welcome back to more Griftlands. I am DisturbingPuppet. So this is a new game that's still in early access from Klei. So being early access, things can and will change. I'm going to check out what's called the Rook Brawl. So we're not actually doing any story spoilers in this. So if you're interested in the story, don't worry. Not going to give anything away. Well, basically, some of the characters and stuff will show up, but that's about it. Alright, so in the Brawl, you basically just have kind of a few days you go through, you just kind of quickly do a bunch of missions. There are no kind of story connecting things, there's no RPG elements really. You kind of have some choices occasionally, but it doesn't make a huge impact, and it's not portrayed in the way like the actual main quest is. So in the main quest, you've got a certain mission to do in a certain amount of time. Probably by the time it comes out of early access, there might be more than one mission. We'll kind of see how it goes. We've also got these daily challenges now that have come up, which are really, really short. In the Brawl, it goes for across 5 days. Each day takes roughly about 45 minutes to an hour, something like that. Depends on the day and the missions. All right, Rook is our friend here on the left. I ran through the Sal Brawl once. Sal is over here. Sal's pretty awesome. Rook has some cool elements to him as well that are quite different. So they are different characters. They do have some different mechanics. We'll go over that a little bit. So I am going to just do the Brawl and play as Rook. Take the Brawl. Alright, so I've unlocked all of Rook's cards. This is the basic outfit we've got. We can swap outfits. Doesn't actually make a difference. I kind of like the Saboteur outfit. Going with that. Alright, once you do the Brawl, and you've completed the story, you can also do mutators and replay things. Prestige level goes up as you kind of unlock things with the character, which just makes things harder. So currently we are at Prestige 4. So Resolve is no longer restored after a battle. So basic level, non-boss enemies a little bit better, negotiation opponents a little bit better, bosses are stronger. So as you go through, just things kind of change and get harder. Sure, that's fine. I didn't even notice that it was restored, actually. Alright, mutators. You have all kinds of things you can do that will affect some of the rules. You can randomize some. I was playing with a few. One of my favorites is actually, there's one that essentially lets you play this like a regular card game. So this is sort of a mix of an RPG and deck builder. And what you had is that every turn you're discarding your hand and drawing new cards. You can change it so it's like a more traditional card game where you don't actually discard your cards and you keep them in your hand. It does make it so that you can actually really build things up from turn to turn and do some really devastating damage and combos later. So that's something that I kind of like. As far as this run, I'm going to do the normal version with the way that's handled, but I might do some other things. Just kind of change the cards I start with, just because I want to have as many options as possible. So I currently have a couple active, I think. Yeah, just drafting additional cards. I'll turn that stuff off. All right. So what do I want to start with? I want to draw, maybe have some additional cards to start. Let me see what I want to grab here. You can kind of see how this affects things differently. So this you can draw some cards, but then you have to discard some from your starting deck. I want to just add some to my starting deck, preferably. Some of these make things easier. Others make things a bit harder. So we can draft our entire starting deck, but that gets rid of some of the basic cards. Let's see. I don't want to do that. This totally replaces my starting deck completely. I don't want to do that. Just want to add stuff. Maybe the ones I had were actually pretty good. Yeah, Mental Overload. This is the one that you keep the cards. It does make some cards that you have an effect when you draw them, but otherwise don't do anything. Totally useless, because they'll just hang out in your hand and causing you to not be able to draw as many cards. Yeah, see the draw 3, get rid of 3. Yeah, these are probably the best ones, actually, the ones that I had selected. So we can draft a selection of cards to add to your starting deck, augment your starting deck. Don't have to get rid of anything in exchange. I could just go kind of straight with no mutators at all. Yeah, but I'm going to do that. Let's go with the Picky Battler and Picky Negotiator, so we'll draw some additional cards. Actually, we draw some anyway. You know what? I'm going to go straight. Let's not do any. Because we draw some anyway. I think we get some random cards to start with anyway. We have the basic deck, So it'll kind of show you the stuff for negotiation and the basic battle stuff. You know what? Let's just go. Alright, schemes have schemes to hatch. Starting draft. Alright, so for battle cards. So there's a lot of things that Sal doesn't have that Rook has. So things like concentration. So concentration increases the minimum damage your cards do. Scorched just affects things where people are on fire. They stay on fire longer. Burn, people are on fire. I do like posture quite a bit. I will take that. Let's see. So there are things like overcharge, charge. You'll see a lot of that referenced. So Rook basically has some cool pistols. They have, I think, 4 charge spots. They start with 1. Some cards use a charge to power them. Other ones give you charge, so like this, or maybe have a benefit if you're fully charged. If you are fully charged and you get more charge, because you go up by 1 every turn, or some cards give you charge, it will go into overcharge, which increases the damage of all your cards for that turn. At the end of each turn, you lose half your overcharge. I know that sounds kind of complicated, just see it when we get in. For negotiation, we have a coin that we flip, which can have some effects depending on which coin we have equipped, and those cards that will gamble, that'll basically just flip the coin and see what happens. Okay, I do kind of like fully loaded. Jolt I don't really like because usually I fill up my charge pretty quickly, so this one's actually less per overcharge. It's not that often I get that high, so I'm just going to take fully loaded. Defensive stuff, generally good. Draw 2 cards. So we're on negotiation stuff. All hostility cards drawn cost 1 less. Not too bad. So this does 2. This is the heads and snails for the coin. So it's either, instead of heads or tails, heads or snails. If it's on snails, this hits all enemies. It doesn't gamble. It's just if the coin is on this, it has this effect. If it gambles and flips a coin, it would basically say gamble, which means flip the coin. And so some things will say gamble and then heads this result, tails this result, or only 1, which means 50% of the time, nothing will happen. There are ways that you can set what that will be, so you can essentially call it ahead of time and decide what the coin flip will be, but that's an argument that's in play that can be taken out. So arguments in this are kind of cool the way they work. I really like the arguments and stuff and negotiations, but it's sort of a little hard to wrap your mind around at first. These are a little bit goofy too. So prepared, apply 2 composure to a random friendly argument every time you play a card, unplayable. So you cannot play this card. Prepared means you just have moved the card to the leftmost card in your hand. So certain cards will let you prepare a card. You can also just play all the cards to the left of this one and that would then have that effect. I find that a little hard to do, and there aren't a whole lot of prepared stuff, so I don't really like this quite so much. Drawing cards is always good. This isn't too bad because it does have the potential to hit all enemy arguments. Take the draw, I guess. I do like this. When this is drawn, you gamble. This one, gamble. So this, if it comes up heads, 2 composure to all arguments. Comes up tails, nothing. This one, gamble, does 2 damage. If it comes up tails, it attacks twice. It comes up heads, it only attacks once. So some of these only have limited effects. This actually isn't too bad. I like just randomly gambling all the time. Alright, negotiation graft. So this gives us a permanent effect, and it does get upgraded. So this is for negotiation. All cards deal 1 bonus damage per friendly argument. That's not too bad. When you have no arguments, all your cards deal double damage. When you fully mitigate damage, incept 1 doubt. So I had this the last time I played. Doubt is an argument that goes on the enemy, which then just causes their own arguments to take damage every turn. So if I can totally block an attack on one of my arguments, including my main self, essentially, then they'll start picking up some doubt, which then sort of eats away at them from the inside. This is pretty good too, because I often do have lots of different arguments running. Yeah, I'll take that. We'll just do some extra damage per argument. For battle, all cards have a random cost. No. Whenever you add a card to your deck, it is immediately upgraded, chosen randomly. I like this, except for the chosen randomly thing. It kind of makes it so it's really hard to build the deck the way you want, because when you upgrade a card, you have a couple options for what you want to do with it. I think you only have 2 options when a card gets upgraded, but there's more than 2 potential choices. So you might be only given 2 options, but that same card, if you upgrade another copy, might have 2 different options. Alright, at the start of each turn, gain 1 action for every 6 cards in your discard. That's not bad. I like that, actually. Extra action is always good. Alright, do you have anything better to do? Get out there! So, we have stuff we can do here. If they've got coins above their head, we can buy stuff from them. The bartender, we can buy some random items from. This vendor sells you basically fighting cards. You can also get rid of cards with her. This vendor sells you negotiation cards, or you can get rid of negotiations. This vendor will sell you grafts, which are the kind of special things that we picked up. So we have some slots we can have up to the max. We can also take some damage later to add some slots. So all this will be kind of familiar if you've seen any of the vids about Sal or the Sal Brawl I did, any of that kind of stuff. Or anyone else. You can look at your deck anytime you want. We've got our coin, which when we start off, we roll heads. 1 composure to a random friendly argument. Tails, deal a damage to a random enemy argument. So on one hand, some extra protection to one of our arguments. Tails, damage to a random enemy argument. I don't have a lot of money. 70 shills. I might be able to buy a card. That would be about it. Look at my pistols. So I've got 4 chambers available to us. Overcharge, no limit. But your limit, well, no limit, but you can go up pretty high, but then it's halved at the end of each turn. So it decays over time, essentially what it says. So you start usually with 1 full and 3 empty, and then the next turn you fill up 1, and then another one, as long as you don't use any cards that burn your charge. Some cards will give you more charge, or when you attack someone will give you charge, things like that. So in the campaign there was ways to change some of the modifications to your pistols to kind of make them do different things. So take a look and just see if we have any cards I can afford. So for combat, +2 damage for every debuff on the enemy. Empty, so no charge, costs 0. I rarely have 0. Yeah, these I can't afford. And this, I'd have to have 4 overcharge for it to be free. Pretty expensive. Not what I wanted. Let's take a look at negotiation. Alright, +1 damage for every argument you have. This is quite good. Gain 1 influence, draw a card. Mediocre. Slugstorm, so gamble. Comes up tails, 2 damage to all enemy arguments. Heads, does nothing. When you upgrade the card, you might be able to pick something that does something heads and tails. If you have any influence, prepare a card. So we talked about preparing a little bit ago. So it does 2 to 4 damage, and then if I have any influence, we get to prepare a card. This gives me influence. Draw a card. I do kind of like Slugstorm. It's not bad. I like Overwhelm quite a bit as well. You know, for now, yeah, let's grab Overwhelm. All out of money. Our first thing is you need to kill Gree, but you need to deal with her bodyguard Cobb first. So we have kind of some items here. So battle cards, sometimes you'll get the option of negotiation cards as well. So something you use at heal, destroy after 1 use. Action, destroy after 1 use. Gets you hasten, which gives you a free action. Destroy after 3 uses. Everything's pretty good at explaining, if you just hover over stuff, what it does. Anyway, let's go do our first mission on day 1. Find Gree and her guard. Nobody talks to Gree without going through me first. So I can scare him away, or I can try to convince him to switch sides. You can see, scaring him away, he's got 20 resolve, I have 36. It's basically my fortitude for arguing, essentially. So HP for arguing, but it doesn't come back between arguments. We can convince Cobb to switch sides. That's a little bit harder. I'm going to try to do that. Because he's got an ally, she gives him an argument that does something. So we drew this, which caused us to gamble immediately, gave us some protection. So I can see what he's going to do. He's going to attack me for 5. This argument has a health of 5 and increases his damage by 1. So I have some free gambling. I've got improvising a card. We can add some protection. And kind of look and see here what my coin does. And the fact that I have the graft gives me extra damage for additional arguments that I have. So, I'm going to go ahead and gamble. So there we came up tails, did some damage. So now it's on tails. It would affect any cards you had in your hand. Let's improvise a card. Um, yeah, let's get a bonus action next turn. Cost me nothing. And I'll just give myself some protection. So that's what this is here. Okay, so he planted some stuff on me, planted evidence. If this is destroyed, it does 2 damage to my core argument, which is basically me. This argument that he has does 2 to 4 damage each turn. I want to destroy that if I can. So because we're on tails, you can see here we've actually got a bonus, and it'll kind of highlight it in green a little bit. So yeah, let's take this out. If we do extra damage, it goes from that argument back to the main argument. So this is still getting hit, which is not great. A gamble. Alright, so we're doing max damage now because it's on heads, so automatically instead of a range. I can't save this. So I'm just going to put some protection here, because it's going to do damage to my main argument when it's taken out. And I will take this out. See, the bleed over hits his main argument. We're being kind of nice. So you can see, how are you feeling today? Looking good. Alright, what is this? At the start of his turn, steal 10 shills from me and remove Frisk. So this steals money from me, which is not good. What do I want to do? Could try to get some hostility cards that might be cheaper. We are getting max damage here. Let's just guarantee to take this out. He's attacking me for 4. I don't have any protection, really. Let's draw some cards and see if we get anything useful. Can at least gamble. That saves a little bit of damage. I can hit him for some damage. That's all I can really do. And this number kind of lighting up here is as you use the card, it gets experience. Once it maxes out, then you level up the card. So take a little bit of damage here. And he's planted some more evidence on me. He's basically Admiralty guards, so sort of a space cop. Okay, we're on tails. I've got some bonus damage. I'm just going to hit you. Let's gamble. Did some extra damage there again, and we can block all this. I should have taken the one that if we block, we incept out. This is a little bit harder. I've got to get some other cards that'll give me additional arguments. So he brought that back. Alright, we're on tails. So this does count as an argument for me, so it is increasing the damage. Let's take that out. So now that's safe, because it was going to be hit by that argument. Can't take him out. What can I do? Could reverse my coin, it would have the effect. Draw a couple cards. Bonus damage, but this is a defense card, so it wouldn't actually do anything. I already have a defensive one. Let's flip the coin. Give me a little bit of protection. Because this does carry over from argument to argument throughout the entire day until you rest. Then you get it back. There are some other ways you can get it back. You want to not take damage, either health or to your composure here if you can avoid it. Alright, we've got a lot of attacks here. He's got a little bit of protection, but we can hammer through that, I think. And bye-bye. So we defeated his main argument, we win. And we get to pick a card. So another one of these, draw 2 cards. Hostilities are cheaper. Let's see. Lose composure from all friendly arguments. Deal damage equal to the composure lost. That's kind of risky. Gamble. Remove composure. Steal composure. So you play this on an enemy argument. That's not bad. Yeah, I'll take that. If you've got some composure, I'll take it away from you. So now he's going to help me kill the person he was hired to bodyguard. Because I'm so convincing. Alright, same kind of thing. Shows me where attacks come in. Health down here. Health does carry over as well. There are only a few ways to sort of heal up between fights. You can buy some a fish cake basically back at the bar, which will give you a little bit of health, but also give you a bloated card, just fills up some space in your deck. Alright, we have some defense coming at me for a couple. Just because I want to get these leveled up. Do a little bit of damage. So I do need to kill her. That is going to be a bad effect. If I just want to scare her off, or cause her to give up the fight, I only have to do 31 damage as opposed to 46, so that's kind of what this means. This means I have to kill her to fulfill the mission. I don't have to kill her, I can fail the mission, that's fine. Cruelty. So her attacks deal 2 wound if not defended. That's kind of mean. What do I want? We could get some charge. Got some overcharge. Let's have some charge. That'll get us to overcharge faster. You can see our defense there. So he actually played a card that boosted my defense. So here's one that I spend a charge to deal a couple extra damage. You are hitting me for some damage, which I'm not happy about. I'll block what I can. And again, as we play the card, we'll fill in the pips to get them to level up. So the more you play the cards, the better. Okay, so we picked up some exposed. When receiving defense, the amount is halved. I thought she was giving us wounds, but must have been the card she played. Alright, not attacking me this turn anyway. So at this point, 2 charge would automatically give me overcharge, which will increase the damage I do. Concentration increases the minimum damage that I do. So instead of 4 to 5, if I have this, it go up. It doesn't really affect these cards too much, but I kind of like having the concentration. Concentration stays until I take damage, and then it gets halved. So as long as I keep myself from taking damage, we can build this up quite high. Give myself some overcharge. And if you burn charge, you just take it away from the regular charge first, not the overcharge. He's giving me some defense. Alright, evasion means she'll automatically evade the next attack, so it'll miss. He is going to attack her once. Not attacking me. Make you use your evade. And let's see. I think she still has an evade up. Yeah, dodge next hit. So you can kind of hide the panel, look at stuff, go back if you want when you have a choice. So really, this wouldn't help because she's just going to evade it anyway. It would mean that my buddy is going to hit because the evades will be burned on me, but I'm going to lose all my charge, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to do a couple mark on her. So when we attack her, we get more charge. And I will go ahead and use some cards, even though it doesn't matter, just because I want to actually get some experience for them. I'm actually going to give him some protection. So you can see all the stuff going on. Got the mark on her now. Alright. She's not attacking me. I could give myself some more charge, which would be overcharge for extra damage. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, gain 1 action every 6 turns. That's why I'm getting extra actions. That would explain it. Alright, sure. Do a quick kick. So she's already panicked and given up. But in order to finish the mission, I do have to kill her. That is going to mean, if I kill her, someone is going to hate me, which is going to give me a negative effect. But it's the only way I get money. So, sorry. So I killed Gree. Minfin was Gree's friend. So the first time you take damage, each fight gain 2 wound. That's pretty bad. So this is in effect until I either make this person like me or kill them. But then that might give me something else, because someone else is going to be this person's friend. So, yeah, killing people has some definite downsides. Sometimes it's not something that bad. This is a little crummy. Okay, we've got a card. I do like Searing Bullet. So fully charged deals max damage. Not that big of a deal if I have concentration. Draw 2 cards, gain concentration equal to their combined cost. That's okay. I do like Searing Bullet a lot. Actually, I think I was thinking something else. Spend with 3 overcharge, apply to wound. So Searing Bullet's not too bad. It's another one, not Searing Bullet. It's something bullet. It's one that does damage, extra damage per overcharge. This is giving wounds per overcharge. So this still isn't too bad. Because I do have concentration, this could be good because we're going to be pushing this up from the minimum of 2. And if we're fully charged, it'll just do max damage anyway. Yeah, I like the higher damage value here. Wound just makes you do extra damage. Every attack from then on will do more damage. Take double time. And because we killed somebody, we actually get an item, so we got her gaff. So I didn't really look at that really quick. Let's take a look. Alright. Gain defense equal to the damage dealt by this card, destroy after 3 uses. So there are items, and items kind of work this way. Almost all of them have a destroy after a certain number of uses. There are some ways you can pump this back up. Not too many, just a few that I've seen. And some don't actually have this. Some don't ever go away. Others have a 50% chance every time you use them of going away, that kind of thing. So it does damage, gives me defense at the same time. Pretty good. Yikes, that looks nasty. Get some extra money, because we killed somebody. Get our money. If you kill a bunch of people, you also will get some cards that will affect your negotiation deck. Sort of like bad reputation, essentially. Alright, Hebel pulls you aside. I'm contractually obligated to help you out. Don't get used to it. For some reason, I think you should sound Russian. Don't get used to it. So we can remove a battle card, get some money. I actually don't like the kicks that much because they do cost 2. I like to have everything cost 1. I like the cheaper cost and 0 cost cards typically. So I sometimes will get rid of the kicks. I wouldn't mind getting rid of one of them maybe, just to increase the chance of getting other stuff. But because of the combat graft I have, which gives me a bonus for cards in my discard, I don't know that I want to make my deck much smaller, at least not yet. So it might actually be beneficial to have a really big deck this time. I'll just take the money. Alright. So we have some options. We can talk to some people. Nothing's that important. You can hire people to come with you on missions. If you have a reputation with them, it'll be off to the side. So this is neutral. If they like you, there'll be an arrow up. If they dislike you, a little bit arrow down. They hate you, it's kind of a higher arrow up and down. So buying drinks gives me some extra resolve, but gives me some crappy cards in my hand, at least till I rest. Buying food, the same for health. So same stuff is available. I've got some money now, but I'm going to hold on to it. Things are kind of expensive. I'd like to get a pet if I can. Help you out in negotiation and in fights. So I'll have to wait for that vendor to show up and hopefully have some money at the time. Just going to go to the next one, be the heavy. Intimidate or beat up Mallow, but remember, don't kill him. What are you looking at? You don't scare me. So I can try to intimidate him, which will make him dislike me. I can attack him, which will make him dislike me. So which do I feel more comfortable with, essentially? He's going to dislike me either way, which isn't hate, which isn't that big of a deal. Fight is probably harder because he does have some assistance. So I'll just do the intimidate. So when you're doing an intimidate as opposed to trying to convince someone to come to your side, You kind of have these at the end of your turn in step 2, intimidated, unplayable. Hostility cards deal extra damage, remove a stack when you play a non-hostility card. So when you have these in your hand at the end, it'll just put some argument on him, and while it's there, it just makes your own hostility cards, which are the red ones, do more damage, but if you play non-red cards, it'll go down. It's not that big of a deal. You can kind of ignore a lot of that stuff if it seems too complicated. So his effect is at the start of each turn, he's going to make one of my cards cost more. So you can see that's why this costs 2, when normally it costs 1. So I do have a little bit of protection. I'll take a little bit of damage. I'll just make sure we don't take any damage this round. Don't really have much of anything else I can do other than my 1 attack. So we'll do that. I don't have enough to play another Composure. So there's that card we talked about. It was a good idea to check out what arguments they have. So Brainwash. Insert 1 propaganda card into Rook's draw pile at the beginning of Mallow's turn. When it's destroyed, he restores 5 resolve for each propaganda in your hand. So it's a really weak argument. He wants me to have lots of propagandas and then have it destroyed, which will give him resolve. It does help you, sort of, if you want, because it does make a card cheap, basically at 0. But I typically want to destroy all those arguments that I can. Let's see. Let's just take it out. I've got no way to really block anything. I might, if I use Trickery, I might get something that can give me some protection. So I could just hit him for 6 here. Or I could hope to get something to protect some damage. Let's give it a shot, see what we get. I might want to take the damage just to have the extra action next time, but I think I'll take the Composure, just because this does carry over from fight to fight throughout the entire day. Nothing else I can do. No, he made my free card cost something. That sucks. Alright, we got Roughneck. So I can use this to try to either remove this or take it, depending on what comes up when we gamble. We could draw some cards and see what we get. Right now we're on head, so this automatically does max. Let's just do that first before we do anything else. I hate that that costs cards. Costs actions now. Draw some cards. Okay, a little bit of protection. It's whittling me down a little bit here. Okay, gain 2 actions, draw a card for each friend you have in the Rise. So I don't want him having extra actions, that's for sure. Draw some cards. This goes down for non-hostility cards. Alright, I might want to go ahead and play this now, because we're getting a bonus from this. Alright, let's gamble. Gamble again. So depending on which deck you have that's better, you might want to focus more on negotiating if you have the option, or fighting more, depending. I think I've kind of liked doing a lot more negotiation, just because there's a lot more stuff going on to keep track of. I kind of like it. Alright, we're on heads, so we have that, but we've also got bonus damage. Let's do the bonus damage. Get a shot in here. Not much else I can do. The gamble might give me some protection. Okay, nothing else I can really do. Got some little 1 point. 1 less damage for me. Alright, it's been going on long enough now that where cards are not going to get any more experience from this point on. So I can finish him off right now. So I'm going to do that. So we have successfully scared him off. Alright, discard this card, deal 3 damage to a random target. I don't really have anything that lets me discard cards. You can't just discard it. You have to actually have a card that makes you discard a card when you do something. Same with here, discard this card. So you have to have something that causes you to discard. So this costs 0, draw a card. So on heads, it's free, draw a card. I honestly don't like any of these. If I had something that would cause me to discard, I might pick one of these two. This one I feel like it's just sort of wasting space. You get it, and then you draw a card. And hopefully it's free, but it's still taking up space in your deck. Yeah, I'll take the money. Alright. So you see this guy here hates me. So you can kind of see that. I can talk to people. It might pop up something that's related to the story, though. So I'm going to kind of avoid it. Get a little bit. So you can look at a little bit of info. Jake's Lifter. Okay, usually there's something here. There we go. Neutral. Yeah, usually it shows me a little bit about them. Yeah, now I can see that. So if it's just nothing, basically they're neutral. Alright, choosing sides. It's a fight. You need to pick sides. I know we've got a mixed one next, and then the boss fight at the end of the day. I do have some money. I'm keep hoping that the pet vendor is going to show up at some point. This might be a little difficult. Battle's about to start. You need to choose sides. So we have a Rise Rebel. Yeah, so here you can kind of see. Furin believes in the movement, but only as much as he can hold sway in it. So we have a Sparks Baron security guard fighting a Rise Rebel. Often in these, when you fight with one side, then the other side afterwards will immediately turn on you and try to kill you, which is kind of irritating. I'll fight with the Spark Barons, I guess, first. So kind of give you a preview of who you're fighting with and against what. You enter the fray. So, big fight. In this case, I don't really care if anyone else gets hit. I'm totally fine with that. Robotic enemies just get destroyed. Some of the pets and stuff will run away if they take enough damage, and then they're out of the fight permanently. People, you can knock them down and they'll be out of the fight. There are cards that will affect how much damage you have to do to them to make them flee, or kind of give up the fight. If the fight goes on and someone has kind of given up, and it keeps going on too long, they might come back in the fight, though, and that's a little bit of a problem. Alright, nobody's coming after me. Defense is only for 1 turn. This gets destroyed, so I'm going to hold on to this. I think I'm just going to shoot someone and kick someone. Probably we'll go for the Cobble Dog. If we can destroy this, it's out of the fight permanently. Because I know the bastards are probably going to turn on me. I wouldn't mind having the rest of my little friendly group take some shots. I am going to give myself some concentration, so that'll increase my minimum damage. You can see it popped up there. Let's improvise a card. Spend all charge, deal extra damage, gain some charge, gain 1 charge, apply 1 impair. Impair just makes someone do less damage. Let's gain a couple charge. Get my charge back up. Take a pot shot at the Cobble Dog again. So he's a robotic enemy, so certain things don't affect him, so bleed and wound don't actually do anything to him. Alright, so we're fully charged for this card we picked up. Automatically 7 damage. That's pretty good. Someone is attacking me. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to have some charge and defense. How about that? So that'll give me some overcharge, make everything do more damage. So you're already dead. Someone's already hitting you. So who do we want to whittle down next? They both are taking some damage. You've got some armor. Let's knock that down. Uh, 5 to 6 or 10. I can also use this to give some of my allies defense if I want to, but nah. It's all mine. Nobody hates you for killing robots, so it's fine. Alright, no one's attacking me. Got this one again. Let's improvise a card. What do we got? So, spend 1 charge, apply 2 burns. That'll set someone on fire. The fire will spread, do some damage. 1 wound, so wound to do extra damage to them every attack after that. Let's light someone on fire. That sounds like fun. You can... No, you can be on fire. You can take a good shot. And unfortunately, I don't really want to use the gaff. I'd like to save it for when it's actually going to be useful for me defensively. So I'll just boost myself up. Like I said, I kind of want them to get whittled down because I'm probably going to be fighting them soon. Stun. There's my burn hitting. Alright, do a little bit of damage to you. You'll be out of the fight soon. Much shooting. Right, so he's freaked out. So 3 turns, he'll come back if he doesn't get killed or the fight isn't over. So we know how to take him out within 3 turns. Shouldn't be too difficult. Well, I can kick him twice. Let's just kick him twice. So her hit, or someone else's hit, will drop him. And surrender. We don't have to kill him, so we're good to go. I don't kill people unless I have to, typically. Alright, what do we want? Brain Tick's kind of interesting. It's one of the few ways I've seen to heal. So remove all debuffs on a target and heal myself 2 per debuff. Apply, let's see, spend 1 charge, apply 2 Scorched. So Scorched gives sort of a benefit to burn. So instead of all the burn going away in a turn, I think it's halved, something like that. Yeah, whenever burn is triggered, remove 1 Scorched, half your burn is removed instead of all of it. Spend 3 overcharge. This card costs 0. So instead of 2 for 5 to 8, it would be 3 overcharge is gone for 5 to 8. That's okay if you can play everything else first. Because your overcharge does get halved at the end of a return anyway. So if you've done all your other attacks and can do this last for free, yeah, sure. I don't see this one come up that often, but right now I'm not applying that many debuffs. I might want to... Let's grab this, and then I'll try to get some more debuff cards. So things that weaken the enemy, so things like wounds and that kind of stuff. Targeting core, I actually rarely ever take anymore. Basically just means that I've targeted an enemy, so all of my allies will attack them instead of just attacking randomly. I find that it just ends up kind of accidentally killing people. I'm not going to take it. Yep, as the dust settles, your allies turn on you. You scumbags. But at least the other guys will actually help me fight. They're pretty trashed because we left them in really bad condition. She didn't really take any damage at all. The robots are a little bit down. They're coming right for me. So I'm going to try to avoid taking any damage here. And I'm going to let my buddies do some fighting. But they're really weak. Like one shot each, they're going to be out of the fight. So this is mostly on me. What do we have here? Right, extra actions. Okay, well, I don't like the attention that's coming my way, but at least they're going to smack somebody around a little bit. Give myself 4 defense and 4 counterattack, so anyone hits me, I'll hit them back. So that's 12. You need to do about 5 more damage to kill you. Let's make sure you're going to die. And I'm going to start softening up your buddy. We are going to take some damage here. There's my counterattack. And counterattack. And there's that wound from that negative effect we have because someone hates us. So now this is actually useful. Alright. I'll have some defense and concentration. I will smack you and get some health. Or not health, but protection. It'd be awesome if it was health, actually. Okay. I can just outright kill you. You're the one attacking me, so killing you doesn't help me that much. But I've got enough protection for it. Let's gun you down. Let's take a look in my ammo pouch. Alright. Overcharge won't help me that much. Drawing cards won't help me anything at this point. Doing a wound will mean everyone else will do more damage to her. And the counters and stuff do only last that one turn, and then they're gone. Alright, she's doing something. Some kind of status effect. She is getting smacked around a little bit by my friends, so, yeah. I've got a lot of actions here. Alright, give me some overcharge. Let's improvise a card, see what we get. Nothing great. I could burn a bunch to do some extra damage, maybe after we do everything else. Don't want to kill her, though. Playing the card just to give it some experience. Okay, she'll take enough damage that she'll give up. That's it. Don't have to kill you. Not gonna. Alright, this is the one I was thinking about. Dynamo round, I think. Deal 2 bonus damage for overcharge. Consumes all overcharge. Yep, I like Dynamo quite a bit. Dynamo round's nice. Surge Coil is really good too. If you have any overcharge, attack twice. So basically just double the damage for free. Doesn't actually burn any overcharge or anything. Arc Deflection, spend up to 3 overcharge. Gain 2 defense and 1 counter for each overcharge spent. That's pretty decent. All of these are good, actually. And this one doesn't actually cost me anything. It's just a free attack if I have overcharge. So I'm going to grab that one first. We'll see later what we want to grab. More money. Alright, you access the campsite. Try to figure out what to do before nightfall. So we can scavenge for fruits and berries. Get some extra health back. We can meditate. Get some resolve back. I'm down about 9 health. That's not too bad. Down to about 11... resolve. So typically when you go to a boss fight, you have a negotiation first you can do. You run into someone on the way to the fight and try to convince them to help you with the fight. I have a better chance of convincing them if I have a little bit more resolve, so I'm going to do that. We're not even there yet. We're on a rescue mission. Rescue blood from his enemies using your words or your fists. So battle and negotiation. I think it should be battle or negotiation. Hey, this guy hates me. I might want to fight you just to kill you, actually. You find Blood's captors. Yeah, getting away from us, Blood. So we can demand he release him. Opponent has plus 20 resolve because he hates me. But if he didn't already dislike me, I could do this without him disliking me, probably. I could just attack him. He's by himself. The guy's being captured will help me. And I might want to kill this guy. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to see if I can kill you. So if I can kill him, hopefully no one else is going to hate me. Or someone will hate me who has a less negative effect. Okay. You hate me, you will always attack me. Okay. I don't think I've actually fought anyone that hates me, so you'll always focus on me. And your attacks apply wounds. Okay, that's not so good. I will protect myself. I'll look in the ammo pouch. I'll go with Impair. That'll reduce the damage he does. And then you're closer to leveling up. Let's use this one. Okay, he just gave me some extra armor there. Quite nice. Okay, 5 attack this time. I'll have some defense. I'll gaff you in the face. More defense for me. I don't have any overcharge, so that's not helping me out. Not fully charged, but because of the concentration, it's still pretty high. Let's go for 5 to 7. Get a 6. So yeah, this guy I want to kill. He hasn't really done much of anything to me here yet. And he's doing something. Let's get 2 charge, 2 defense, just so we max out our charge. Do some damage. And which card do I want to get closer to leveling up? Use this one. Okay, he's trying to evade some attacks. So the more attacks I can throw at him, the better. I don't have many, though. Got a lot of defensive stuff here. Alright, give myself some counterattack. More defense. More defense. What are you doing? You're attacking him. I'd rather not take anything. I don't have to take anything. So let's not. That's why I don't really like kick so much. Often can't use it at the end. Get a counter in, though. Alright. That should max that one out. More overcharge for me. He's given up. Bye-bye. Okay, spend all charge. Draw a card for each charge. It's okay. Spend up to 3 overcharge. Gain the defense and counter. We saw that recently. Gallery, I like. Fully charged. Deals 2 bonus damage and hits all enemies. So as long as we've got the full charge, just shoots everybody. This is decent. I like Gallery a lot. It takes a while to upgrade. So does this, though. I don't think I've ever actually used Arc Deflection before. I'll take Gallery. Couple things leveled up. Ammo pouch. Alright, so we have a couple options here. These are kind of the typical ones. I think this only has 2 variants because these are the only ones I see. So improvise a card from 1 to 5 cards. This is improvising a card from a pool of upgraded special cards. I'll take the upgraded special cards. Crank also leveled up. So do you want to focus on getting defense or getting charge? I will take the defense, I think. A few of the cards have got close to leveling up. Pick up another gaff. For a bit of money. Starting the reputation for violence. We are now unstable. So that's a negotiation card. So unstable, 0, draw a card. Play it with a random target. Expend. So we draw one of my cards, that card gets played on a random target. It's not bad. We're just a little bit crazy, so people don't know what we're going to do in an argument. Hey, no problem, buddy. 100 more shills. Alright, this is the coin vendor. We can swap out coins for him. Basically just trade the one we have for a different one. So this one's 1 composure to a random friendly argument, 1 damage to random friendly argument. This is 2 composure to random, 1 damage to random. So just a little bit better composure. Draw a card, discard. 1 composure to random friendly argument, 2 damage. So we can maximize composure, so protection from attacks, or we can maximize damage. I kind of like going for protection. Go with that. We have the Marsh coin. Alright, on to fighting a boss. 3 Quas looking to kill you. Get him first. Don't have to kill the bosses. So we run into someone on the way. Try to convince her to help. Do what I can. Alright. At the end of your turn, lose 1 influence and 1 dominance. That's kind of difficult. I often do things that give me influence or dominance. I don't have much in this yet that would do that. Alright, let's gamble. Got max damage. We could block some of it. This is the last argument before we get to the fight and before we get to rest. So as much damage as we take, not a big deal. I just want to convince her, so let's just hammer her argument. I don't mind if I take some damage now because it's the end of the day. 3 composure, bonus action next turn. Yeah, I'll take the bonus action next turn. So I'll take a little bit of a shot here. Okay. Well, we got our unstable. Let's see what happens. Okay, there was only really 1 target available to it, so it did it. Cost us nothing. Let's draw some cards and see what we get. Hey, they're free. Sweet. Alright. So we are on tails, so this has some extra damage. I'll have some composure. This won't actually do anything, but it will cause me to gamble, which might give me more protection or do some damage. She doesn't have any composure for me to remove or steal. And 0 for 2, sure. To manage to block everything there. Decent amount of damage. Apparently I'm not half as convincing as I think I am. I don't think I'm very convincing, so... Let's see, we're on tails. Got some extra damage. Pathetic. Let's improvise a card. We could reverse the coin. That would give us some protection and do more damage. Just composure. Let's do that. Let's flip the card. Flip the coin, I mean. So that gives us a benefit there and here. How you feeling? It's like I'm bipolar or something. I'll kill you! How are you doing today? How are the kids? I'll murder them in their sleep. Alright, what is this? Alright, just this extra damage. Don't have any composure I can steal. Let's try drawing some more cards. Nope. Let's take this out at least. I hope. Okay. I do like these cards that when you just draw, they have an effect, and then they'll very quickly rank up pretty nicely. I'm willing to take shots here just to get some damage in. And to level up some cards. Again, nothing I can steal. I can almost take her out. Not quite enough to convince her. Alright, that's it for experience. Watch the birdie. Alright, we convinced her to come along. It's discard. I don't really have a way to discard it. When it's drawn, gamble. I like these. Spend an influence. Does 3 damage. I don't have a way to gain influence right now. Hope they'll have something soon. Take the gamble. I like gambling. I like gambling. You convinced Spearrun to help you in the upcoming fight. She's just a Bogger cultivator. She probably has... Boggers are kind of people who hang out in the bog and the swamp, so she might have some different odd abilities, but she's not really a frontline fighter. She'll help, though, I'm sure. You find your target. Thriqua. The name is a noble one in Notorian lands, even if his actions in these parts speak otherwise. Alright. Alright, we got 8 coming at me. I can only block a little bit of it. I don't have that negative effect anymore, though, because we killed the guy that was giving us the negative, so I don't take wounds from the first shot anymore. Let's have some defense. You don't have any negative effects. Gain 6 defense and 3 power at the end of every turn. Lose 3 power whenever all of his defense is broken. Every time he takes damage, gets 2 defense because of his species. So he's got 102 health. 91 will get him out of the fight. Let's just do some damage. Good hit. Siphon Life Force. Alright, she's going to heal us both. That's kind of nice. You are really going for her hardcore, though. I might want to throw some protection on her. Let's give her at least some kind of defense. Okay, that's the new one. Let's just go for some damage because he's got some protection up. Let's start trying to work this towards leveling up, because that'll bust through his defenses. And then he got more, because of his species bonus there. We did reduce his power that way, though, so it is less damage now. Nice, fully held. Alright, now you're coming for me. Okay, fully charged. I will give myself more defense and some counterattack. So it's counterattack there. Not blocking it all yet, but I can. Let's do that. Don't have any overcharge, so it's not a double shot. Let's try for something interesting. So we can make you burn. Charge and defense. Concentration. I'm not taking any damage from this shot, because I've got enough protection. So I could get the concentration that'll carry over until I take a hit. Or we could just light him on fire. I mean, there's always that. How about we just light you on fire? Okay, now you're doing something tricky. Get some concentration. It's too bad I don't have any overcharge here. I can hold off on using these because they do have limited use. I'd rather use it when someone's going to attack me. I can get some hits in and still get some defense. Swift kick. Whittling you down. She's actually pretty helpful here. She's going to heal us again. Now you're going to smack her a couple times. Got overcharge now. Could do that to you. Give you some defense. I kind of want to use these other cards so I can level them up. So, yeah, we'll just give her a little bit of defense. That's fine. She can take care of herself. Oh, he's got a counter up. I didn't even notice. That's fine. She's going to heal me here. So we can get the shots in, I think. We'll rest at the end of the day anyway, so it'll be fine. Okay, coming at me for 12. That's not very nice. So now I kind of need to use this. Not going to block it all, but most of it. She's going to heal. Nice. Let's grab some ammo. Let's get some overcharge. So close to taking them out. I'll just play these just so I can actually level the cards up. Yeah, Rook Psychic, by the way. You didn't know? Give myself some overcharge. See if we can take him out with a kick. That's it. Yeah, all except your surrender. You can get cool items from the bosses, but they do have limited usefulness, and they might have someone hit you. I can't remember if the bosses... I think the bosses, if you kill them, somebody will hit you. But that might have changed. Alright. Spend all charge. Gain 2 temporary power for each charge. Especially now for 2. Concentrated. If I have any concentration, we attack twice. It's quite good. I've got some concentration stuff. I'll apply 2 wound. I'll take the double attack. Negotiation cards. Mental influence. Apply 1 composure per influence spent to all your arguments. I don't really have a way to gain influence quite yet. Whenever you gamble, deal 2 damage to a random enemy argument. That's pretty good. And this is the one we looked at before, Jargon. I'll take Fallout, even though I don't like higher cost cards. We'll take that. Some cards upgraded. Blast. Okay, fully charged costs 0. That's nice. These I usually don't go for, so this is... It'll do more damage, but if I use it, first time I use it, card's gone. So just out of your deck permanently. Yeah, I'd rather have cost nothing on them fully charged. Attack twice. I'll take attack twice. Ooh, 2 to 10. Fully charged deals max damage. Or fully charged deals max damage and costs 0. I do like my 0 cost cards, that's for sure. I do have some ways to get charged. It'd be nice if I can pick up a couple more. Yeah, the overcharge gives me bonus damage anyway. I'll go for the chance of having it for free. Fully loaded, 4 defense, or 6 counter, or 6 defense. Yeah, I'll take more defense. Alright, spend 1 charge, deal 6 bonus damage. Spend up to 2 charge, 3 bonus damage per charge spent. I'll go for the 1 for 6, I think. I don't like burning charge if I can avoid it too much, let alone burning a bunch of charge. Get a graft reward. Alright, negotiation. Whenever you draw 5 or more cards in a single turn, gain 1 bait. Bait is something everyone else has to attack first. I don't really have a lot of draw, so that's not really helping much. Gain 2 power at the start of each battle. Lose 2 power the first time you take enemy damage. That wouldn't be too bad. Whenever you gain fully charged, gain 2 temporary power until the end of your turn. Power just is increased attack damage, essentially. So this is from the get-go. You've got 2 power. You keep it till you take damage. This is every time you gain fully charged, you get 2 power, but only for the turn. I think I'll take the rugged wiring. Alright, help pulls your side. I'm contractually obligated to help you out. Don't get used to it. Draft 2 battle cards, take some money. I'll draft some cards. If I don't want the cards, I can just take some money instead. Alright, remove all debuffs on a target for bonus damage. If the target has burn, gain 2 charge. I do have a way to get burn, but not much. Spend 3 overcharge, card cost 0. None of these are fantastic. Crackle is slightly tempting, but I'm going to take the money instead. Another fully loaded would be okay. Suppressing fire is decent as well. Hits everybody, gain 2 defense per target. Yeah, I'll take another fully loaded, I think. Alright, yes, the pet vendor is here. Some people keep pets, Furluck keeps battle steeds. I'd ask what you're up to lurking through the feud at night, but then you might ask me the same. So he has 2 pets available, Pokey, who's a fleed, and Carapace, it's an urchin. Yeah, 200 for Floki, sure. Or Pokey. Floki. Pokey! I'll take Pokey, I can even upgrade you. Let's do that. So we have an upgraded pet. That'll help a lot. You dislike me because we sort of forced you into doing something you didn't want to do. I could pick up the... I don't have the money. I could grab the salve and add it to my deck. It's destroyed after 1 use, but it'll stay until you use it. So if I had the money, I might pick that up, because he doesn't always have the salve available for heals. Don't have enough. I guess we could check the battle cards. I can afford some cheap ones. Empty costs 0. I'm almost never empty. The wound one is... Spend a charge, apply 2 scorched. Also not that great. Nothing I would want to spend money on. Alright, let's do the hay. Your bed calls to you. You hit the pillow like a load of bricks. End of day 1, we're maxed heal, because we got healed up by our bogger friend. So loved people will give you some bonuses. Sometimes you can just kind of hang out with people. You can drink with people and get your benefits up. If you've done certain missions, they'll like you, and then you can pay some extra money to them if you see them. Just like, give them, here's some money. They'll love you. Dislike people, you do something bad to them, they'll move to hated. Sometimes people automatically go to hated. But anyway, good amount of cards. In good shape overall. Next day, I've got no money, but her cards should have changed, I think. Is that different? Yeah. 3 overcharge for 0. Threshold 4. Gain 2 overcharge. I like this a lot. If you have any overcharge, attack twice. Like this a lot. This is a good way to get overcharge. I don't have this, so I might want to grab this. So as long as I do 4 damage or more, we'll get 2 overcharge. And I do have concentration and stuff. So we could get that up. And if we have some overcharge, it'll increase it as well. Yeah, let's do that. It's a nice way to get some overcharge. And then I do already have, I think, 1 Surge Coil. I think I grabbed one. Alright, so that was the end of day 1. We'll come back again and hit up day 2. So thanks very much for coming by. We're going to continue the Rook Brawl, as it's called, next time. So that was the end of day 1. Next time I'll do a bit less explaining, and we'll just kind of jump into the missions and stuff, and just kind of have to hang on for the ride, I guess. All right, thanks again. Hopefully I'll see you another time. Have a good one.